The soft hum of conversation filled the elegant dining hall of La Lumiere, the most luxurious restaurant in the city. Golden chandeliers glimmered overhead like suspended suns, sparkling against the glass walls that framed the skyline. It was a kind of place where wealthy clients whispered deals over champagne, where every plate looked like a painting, and where the staff were trained to smile even when life outside these walls was falling apart. Daniel Reed, a waiter in a crisp black vest, moved between tables gracefully, though exhaustion clung to his eyes. His steps were practiced, but his mind kept drifting to the photograph tucked inside his pocket, a small, wrinkled image of his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, grinning with 2 missing front teeth. She was the reason he worked double shifts, the reason he skipped breaks, the reason he kept going. But tonight had been rough. One rude customer after another, endless orders, complaints about temperature or spice, and the lingering anxiety of rent due in 2 days. Still, Daniel pushed through with polite professionalism, never letting his tired voice show the storm inside. At table 9, seated near the tall window overlooking the city lights, sat Elena Volkova, the kind of woman who made the entire restaurant fall silent when she entered. Billionaire CEO, always featured in magazines, known for a cold demeanor and rumored temper. Tonight, however, she seemed different. She wasn't furious nor commanding. She sat quietly, almost withdrawn, stirred her tea without drinking it. Daniel approached her with a respectful nod, placing her check neatly on the edge of the table. "Daniel, was everything okay with your meal, ma'am?" Elena didn't look at him. Her eyes stayed fixed on the untouched tea, her fingers resting lightly on the cup as though warming themselves. She gave a small nod, distant, mechanical, as if her mind was miles away. Daniel lingered a moment, hoping for even a hint of acknowledgement. Nothing. He stepped back politely, masking his disappointment with the same gentle expression he always used. He knew her reputation. Elena never tipped. Ever. Not a single dollar. No matter how exceptional the service. When Elena finally stood, her designer heels clicking sharply against the marble floor, she tossed her silk shawl over her shoulder and walked toward the exit with a graceful yet troubled elegance. No goodbye, no thank you. Daniel waited until she disappeared out the door. Only then did he pick up the bill holder. He opened it. His stomach sank. 0. A big, empty space where a tip should be. Daniel, murmuring under his breath. 0 tip. Again. He forced a small exhale, trying to let the frustration fade. After all, this wasn't new. But tonight, the sting felt sharper, heavier. Every dollar mattered right now. A nearby waiter, Mark, noticed the look on Daniel's face. "Mark, she stiffed you again? Man, I swear, billionaires are the cheapest people." Daniel gave a tired shrug. "Daniel, it's fine. Maybe she just had a bad day. Or a bad decade." Mark snorted before rushing off with a tray. Daniel turned back to the table, picking up the empty teacup and plate. As he lifted the plate, something strange caught his eye. A tiny corner of paper, almost invisible, tucked exactly beneath the center of the porcelain. He frowned. "Daniel, what's this?" Carefully, he slid the folded paper out. It was small, delicately creased, intentionally hidden. His heartbeat quickened with curiosity. Elena had left nothing on the table, yet this note had clearly been placed with purpose. Standing alone in the soft golden glow of the restaurant, Daniel opened a mysterious folded slip, and the moment he saw the first sentence, his breath hitched. Daniel stood in the warm glow of the restaurant lights, the murmur of dinner conversations fading as he stared down at the folded slip of paper resting delicately in his hands. His fingers trembled, not from fear, but from the strange, electric uncertainty pulsing through him. It wasn't uncommon for customers to leave complaints or comments, but a note deliberately hidden under a plate? That was something else entirely. He smoothed the paper open slowly, almost afraid to breathe as the elegant handwriting revealed itself. The ink was dark, flowing, unmistakably feminine. "I noticed your tired eyes. I saw the photo of your daughter hanging from your pocket. You remind me of someone I lost. Please come outside. I need your help more than you know. E.V." Daniel blinked. rereading the words again and again, as if hoping they would change into something more ordinary. But they didn't. Each line carried a weight, a quiet intensity that pressed into his chest like a hand made of sorrow and urgency. For a moment, he simply stood frozen. His heartbeat thudded like a drum in his ears. Daniel, whispering to himself, "What on earth?" She saw Lily's picture. His hand instinctively moved to the small laminated photo clipped inside his pocket. Lily in her pink jacket, smiling brightly at the park. He always kept it visible. It reminded him why he worked so hard. But he never expected someone like Elena Volkova, a billionaire with a reputation colder than winter glass, to notice something so small, so personal. Questions swirled in his mind like a storm. Why him? What did he remind her of? Who did she lose? And what kind of help could a billionaire possibly need from a struggling single father who spent his days serving tables? A soft voice pulled him back. Sophia, another server, approached quietly. "You okay, Daniel? You look like you saw a ghost." He swallowed, folding the note quickly before anyone else could see it. "Daniel, I'm not sure. I think I need to step outside for a minute." Sophia raised an eyebrow but didn't push. "Go. I'll cover your section." Daniel nodded gratefully and hurried toward the entrance, the note still clenched tightly in his hand. Each step felt heavier than the last, as if the message carried invisible chains of responsibility pulling him forward. The moment he pushed open the glass doors, the cool night air brushed against his face. The city outside shimmered with lights, street lamps casting halos on the wet pavement, cars passing by in glittering streaks, the hum of nightlife echoing between tall buildings. And there she was. Elena Volkova stood alone beside her sleek black luxury car, her posture rigid, arms folded across her chest, but her expression different. Gone was the cold mask she wore at the table. Instead, she looked strangely vulnerable, like someone holding back emotions too heavy to show. Daniel hesitated, stopping near the doorway. His voice was soft, cautious. "Daniel, you asked for me?" Elena lifted her head slowly. Her eyes, sharp blue with a hint of exhaustion, met his. She wasn't intimidating now. She looked like someone who had been carrying a secret for far too long. But Daniel couldn't approach yet. Instead, he watched her for a moment, trying to understand her sudden interest in his life, in his daughter, in him. The billionaire who never tipped, who barely spoke, now waiting for a waiter outside a restaurant after hiding a note beneath a ceramic plate. Every instinct told him this moment was not simple, not casual. It felt like a doorway, one that, once open, would lead him somewhere unexpected, maybe even dangerous. He looked down at the note again, the elegant handwriting glowing faintly beneath the streetlights. "I need your help more than you know." Daniel exhaled deeply, steadying himself. Whatever this was, whatever she wanted, he couldn't turn away now. With slow, determined steps, he finally walked toward her, ready for answers, ready for whatever truth that hidden note had led him to. The night air wrapped around Daniel like a thin, cool blanket as he approached Elena step by step. The city lights behind her turned her silhouette into a mixture of shadow and gleam, powerful, mysterious, but undeniably human. For a billionaire known for her icy reputation, she suddenly looked like a woman standing on the edge of something painful. Daniel stopped a respectful distance away, his voice gentle. "Daniel, you asked for me?" Elena didn't respond immediately. She inhaled long and slow, as if gathering the courage to reveal something she had kept locked inside for years. When she finally turned her face fully toward him, Daniel was startled to see a faint redness around her eyes, as though she had been fighting back tears long before she entered the restaurant. "Elena, yes, I did." Her tone was calm, not cold, but weary, heavy with unspoken emotion. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The quiet parking area behind the restaurant felt isolated, almost too still, as if the world itself paused to listen. Elena finally broke the silence. "Elena, I didn't leave a tip because money couldn't express what I need from you." Daniel blinked in confusion. Of all the explanations he imagined, this wasn't one of them. "Daniel, I don't understand." Her eyes shifted toward him, softening in a way that made her seem less like the unreachable billionaire on magazine covers and more like a mother, a grieving mother. Elena, you're a father. I saw that in the small photograph in your pocket. You kept touching it without realizing. People only hold on to pictures like that when they're scared to lose what's in them. His breath caught for a moment. He didn't expect her to notice something so private. She continued, her voice lowering. Elena, I need someone trustworthy. Daniel's heart pounded harder. Trustworthy for what? Why him? He tried to steady himself. Daniel, ma'am, I appreciate the compliment, but I'm just a waiter. I don't know what kind of help I could possibly. Elena raised a hand gently, stopping him. Elena, you don't understand. It's not about what you are. It's about what you are not. Daniel stood still, confused yet drawn in by her words. She took a step closer, her voice trembling slightly, the first crack in her carefully maintained composure. Elena, my son ran away last year. He was 16, angry, rebellious, but he was a good boy. Just hurt. We argued one night, and he left, and I haven't been able to find him since. Daniel felt the weight of her pain like a physical blow. For a moment, he imagined Lily disappearing, walking into the night and never coming home. His chest tightened. Elena looked away, fighting the tremor in her voice. Elena, when I saw your daughter's picture, when I saw how tired you were, how hard you were trying, she swallowed. You reminded me of him, of the kind of person he always trusted. Someone gentle, someone real, not someone like me. Daniel couldn't speak. The billionaire standing before him wasn't cold or arrogant. She was broken, desperate, and very much alone. Then she reached into her coat and pulled out a small ivory envelope, sealed in gold. She extended it toward him. Elena, inside is my number and a request. Please read it when you're ready. Daniel stared at the envelope, hesitant to touch it. It felt like a doorway into a life far bigger and more complicated than his own. But he also couldn't ignore the trembling in her hand, the quiet plea of a mother who had lost her child. Finally, he reached out and took it. Their eyes met, his filled with uncertainty, hers with fragile hope. Daniel, if you truly need help, I'll do what I can. Elena's lips quivered into a small, genuine smile, the first real one he had ever seen her give. Elena, thank you, Daniel. You're the first person who hasn't told me my request is impossible. She stepped back toward her car, her expression still soft, but her posture straighter, as though unburdened by finally speaking the truth. As the car door closed and the engine hummed to life, Daniel stood alone beneath the street lamp, the envelope warm in his hand. A simple dinner shift, a simple hidden note, and now, a choice that would change everything. He looked down at the elegant handwriting on the envelope, and knew life would never be the same.